all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
I said I'm a conversationalist. But what people are upset about is that for some reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notions, and they open up to me.
Right.
That's what they're upset about. Because if you look at a lot of these people that's been on other podcasts, they don't do the views that they do when they come on Club Shay Shay.
Baby, being a celebrity always comes with a very high price. And let me tell y'all, Shannon Sharpe is finding out in real time just how toxic the industry can be. And you know what makes this crazy? Katt Williams predicted all of this just a few months ago. Shannon's podcast Club Shay has been doing crazy numbers ever since the Katt Williams interview, which by the way is now the most viewed podcast video in YouTube history. And baby, some people in the industry are not happy about this. Shannon did an interview recently where he went off on all the celebrities trying to cancel his show and ensure he goes down. They've even gone as far as threatening him and the ones who were happy to be on the show before suddenly canceled without any reason. Child. We always knew the industry was toxic, but these guys are really doing too much when it comes to Shannon. Whispers are even floating around that Shannon's life may be in danger because the haters be hating. Girl, grab a chair and let's unpack this real quick.
I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along.
So Shannon Sharpe recently did an interview where he talked about all the disturbing things he has faced since he went viral after the Katt Williams interview earlier this year. He sat with Cam Newton for a chat where he explained why celebrities feel comfortable enough to spill all their tea when they come on his podcast. According to Shannon, the first step he takes before the interview even begins is to ask the celebrities if there are any topics they would rather not talk about when they start recording, because he wants them to be able to show the world who they are from their perspective.
I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? I always ask the guests that. Sometimes they say, well, I would appreciate if we not talk about this.
Right.
Cool, no problem. Because I believe you can tell your story without saying something negative. But yes, I believe a person that's been in a business, that's been doing something 10, 15, 20, 30 years are more than one salacious story.
Right.
That's what I believe. So if they say they want to stay away from it, but if they want to tell something, who am I to say, nah, don't do, you can't tell that.
Right.
Shannon then went on to clarify that he is not a journalist and never actually presented himself as a journalist. For those who don't know, Shannon is a very successful retired NFL player who was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2011 before Shannon started podcasting. And after his football career, he was a commentator for the CBS Sports pregame show, the NFL Today, including the Sprint halftime report and the Subway postgame show. Then in 2013, he became a columnist and spokesperson for Fitness RX for Men magazine, and he actually appeared on the magazine's 2013 cover. He later joined Skip This and FS1 Sports debate show Skip and Shannon Undisputed in 2016. So Shannon Sharpe didn't start podcasting just because everyone else was doing it. He already had a solid resume working in the industry. And apart from Club Shay Shay, he actually has another podcast called Nightcap, which he hosts with retired NFL player Chad Johnson and retired basketball player Gilbert Arenas. However, Shannon's Club Shay Shay podcast is more popular, especially because of some viral interviews he has done, including Katt Williams and Steve Harvey. In 2021, the episode with Bubba Wallace was selected by the Apple Podcasts editorial team on their Apple Podcasts Best of 2021 list. Shannon started Club Shay in 2020 during the pandemic. According to him, he found something else to be passionate about after retiring from professional sports, and that just happened to be podcasting with his podcasts. He aimed to let Black entertainers have a space where they could talk about themselves without being judged harshly. So, in his words, he's a conversationalist, not a journalist. I'm having a conversation, you and I having a conversation. You're not going to cut me off. I'm not going to cut you off, right? However, even though Shannon already had experience with media, nothing could have prepared him for the success his podcast had in 20,124. And it was all thanks to Katt Williams. See, Shannon said he had been trying to get Katt on the podcast for about a year before that episode finally happened. He got lucky one day when he randomly ran into Katt's new manager, and she ended up linking him to Katt. Just a week later, Katt would be spilling all the tea about the industry on Club Shay.
I'm having a conversation. You and I having a conversation, you're not going to cut me off. I'm not going to cut you off.
But according to Shannon, he actually didn't think the episode was going to go that viral initially. At the time, his most viewed episode on YouTube was the Steve Harvey episode, which had about 8 million views. However, when they finished filming the Katt Williams episode, Shannon said his producer told him to get ready because they were about to hit it big. Now, Shannon, he was thinking even if the episode did more better than the Steve Harvey episode, it would only get about 10 million views. Boy, was he wrong right now. Katt Williams' episode on Club Shay has just under 72 million views on YouTube. According to Shannon, that completely changed the trajectory of the podcast. He started getting calls from potential sponsors. More people wanted to be on the podcast, and basically Club Shay became the place to go if you wanted to tell your story.
You don't do sit downs, you see what I'm saying?
Kim, I've been trying to line Katt up for a year. I tried to line him up for a year. People don't know this, but Katt doesn't like to fly. I'm getting off the elevator. As I'm getting off the elevator, a lady's getting on.
Right.
She said, hello. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm Shannon Sharpe. She tells me her name. She's like, I've never seen you here before. I said, yeah, my attorney's here, Marvin. She said, oh, I love Marvin. I love Allison, who's his daughter. She said, oh, I said, I've never seen you here. I said, I've been coming here 3-4 years. I've never seen you. She said, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just not meeting you. She said, today is my last day. I said, what? She said, yeah, today is my last day. I said, you got a new job? She said, I'm leaving to be Katt Williams tour manager.
Wow.
I said, I've been trying to get Katt for a year. That was a Friday. The next Friday, Katt sitting in that chair.
Look at God.
The next Friday, for heard about it. But when Katt came on and did what he did, now you had no choice. Advertisers, sponsors had to take Club Shay Shay serious.
Right.
People that did he just this, he's a dumb jock, he talked with a lisp. Well, that dumb jock that talked with a lisp has the #1 podcast on YouTube. Not sports podcast, Cam. #1.
Must be the greatest.
Man, I ain't gonna be able to get nobody back. I ain't gonna be able to get no more comedians.
They all coming.
No, they ain't.
Are you kidding?
Nah.
Hey, I
A good
promise
thing
you.
I done got all the rest of them. I done got the ones.
I promise you, everybody trying to double back. You're gonna be having to beat them off with a stick. You gonna let him? They're coming. Much as.
Oh, but it gets even darker. See, while Shannon was basking in the success of Club Shaw, she started noticing that some people in the industry were not happy about his success, and they were trying to sabotage the podcast. But that's not all. Some of these celebrities who were offended by Shannon's success were trying to label him, and Club Shay Shay is messy, saying he was trying to create beef in the world of comedy because of the Katt Williams interview. To be fair, the fact that some of these guys decided to take out their frustrations on Shannon isn't all that surprising, because Katt Williams did not hold back at all during his interview. He dragged almost every famous comedian for filth and exposed many of the lies in the industry. For example, he called out Cedric the Entertainer for being a sellout and a joke thief who has been stealing jokes since 1998. Then he called out Faison and Ricky Smiley for faking it, claiming they weren't funny at all. According to Katt, the only reason why they got famous was that they sold their souls to the highest bidder and sucked up to the industry gatekeepers. But Katt wasn't done just yet. He then put Kevin Hart on blast for not only being unfunny and untalented, but also for being a sellout and gatekeeper. He even called Kevin an industry plan. Katt started by debunking Kevin's story about growing up on the East Coast. According to him, Kevin couldn't possibly have had his career upbringing in the East Coast, only to end up having more recognition in LA.